All right, like the title says, yes, I've got to sue one of my subcontractors to get some money back from him because he abandoned the job site and ghosted me. But let's go through this year. Almost done. We're getting close to December, so I'm not booking any more work for the year. So let's go through everything I did wrong, some of it I did right, what we're doing next year. All right, we're back in P Contracting Central here in my rec room desk area. So in my Patreon, I'm working on a video that basically goes into way more detail than this on this exact topic. So this is kind of the Cliff Notes version. So I wanted to give you guys the pros and cons of this year. We'll start with the pros before we get to the juicy cons. But the pros, I mean, yeah, I went all subcontractor this year, no full-time employees. It worked out great. As far as cost-wise, you know, it's been working out great. It helps that I found some good subs actually, to the point where even my wife makes a, you know, I can't rely on them too much because if something happens to them, you know, like an accident or something, I need to have like a backup plan basically. But it's been working out fantastic. And then I've been booking work based off their skill set, based off what they want to do kind of thing. So that has been great. Doing all subs is definitely one of the pros of this year. Not having that extra overhead leaning over my head all the time. And consequent, I mean, and I paid myself more this year, way more than last year. So yeah, it's actually, it's been working out fantastic. And then doing subs, I've been subbing out all my work. I get less profit, obviously, because I'm giving it to the people who are actually doing the work, but it's also made me more available, like to build this basement out and to do work like here in my house, maybe spend a little more time on the basement. The basement was a huge time sink this year. Great pro for this year, but I would have had a lot more free time and a lot more profit in my business if I didn't build the basement, but it's done pretty much anyway. So we can move forward, and then this coming year is going to be, I think I'm going to break a bunch more records. I did make a pros, but I did make, as far as revenue, I sold over $1 million worth of work this year. I'm not getting it done because of, you know, material delays. We're just running out of time. Concrete for one project took like 6-7 weeks just to get 6 yards. So I'm running low. You know, time wise, I'm not being able to close contracts because just the material delays, all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. But you know, as far as revenue, you know, the best year yet so far. And you know, it's going to roll into next year. Next year is going to be even better because we already have like a head start, if you will, for that. So I will say, having a CPA, you know, my CPA, I found a great one, and it's been working out fantastic. I'm behind on my end of the bookkeeping, which I will get. You know, the rest of December is going to be basically that. But having a CPA / bookkeeper is fantastic. It's been helping me out a lot. All right, had audio drop, so here we go. It's the second time recording this from my CPA point here. But anyway, so yeah, CPA fantastic. Next one, my contract. I did have it revamped, and I'm still adding stuff pretty close to a couple of times a year because that's just the way it goes. So contract has been a stellar pro this year, having it redone again. It's just better, more related to what I do. The last one I had was still great. I never had a problem with it. This one's just even better. That way I've had to refer to the contract multiple times in different jobs, just not as a malicious or anything like that. Just like, hey, I forget. Let's just go by the contract. Yay or nay. Had a customer like, oh yeah, don't forget to paint the back of the garage and the exterior doors, both back and front. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I don't think that was on the contract, but we'll check. And so I went back, looked at it, and you know, the scope of work wasn't there. So guess what? Change order. So I did decline it until next year because, well, exterior doors, it's cold here in Michigan. So I definitely would recommend that for sure. So next is the dump trailer. It deserves its own video. It probably will pretty soon. I got plenty of videos on it, but it's been saving me so much time. Even today alone, I am recording this on the afternoon because, you know, I'm running behind and I just had to go do some stuff, and dump trailer came in handy, got materials on site, and then obviously I had debris there, so they loaded it up, no big deal. But having just, you know, the dump trailer is not only just to dump stuff, but just to transport materials when I need it, because I couldn't wait for a lumber yard to, you know, it takes 2 or 3 days for them to deliver stuff. just, it doesn't work with my job flow. I just need to keep things moving. So when I'm subbing out work, that's pretty much how I'm earning my money, is making sure that the guys get what they need when they need it. So to keep them working, because they're obviously, I'm on their schedule. They're expecting to, have materials when they say they're there, and sometimes they're not. So last one for the pros for this year, just, getting Clifford Notes, Facebook marketing. I started it. I probably put in over this last year, maybe 500, 600 bucks, which is not much at all. If you know marketing, that's nothing really. But for me, it's something, and I landed a $200,000 job off of it. Hired me off of it. Now, that's not, I wouldn't say, I'm not going to expect that every $600 for sure, but it works, getting your name and your business out there. Would highly recommend it. If you guys are just uploading to your Facebook and Instagram and everything, pay for that marketing from Facebook. You can set radiuses and everything. It's nice. Sometimes I do get those random messages from people out of state. I'm not sure why they see my post, but it is what it is. I will say though, we'll go into the cons on that, but you do get a lot of messages that are just, people that are just not your customers. So it's been great. I landed a six-figure project off of it. I'm gonna vamp it up next year going in. It's gonna be great. I definitely would highly recommend that as well. So now let's go into, obviously what everybody's probably clicked on this video for is the cons. And the main one is I have to sue one of my subcontractors. And he just basically, cashed the check and went half a day on the job site and never returned. I messaged him, gave him a couple times. He did respond like, oh, sorry, I was sick, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's no excuse. Like, you need to at least respond. So, and then after that, it was nothing, ghosted. So went to the local courthouse, filed a small claims court lawsuit against him, information, and I just got to collect what I have and then submit it to the courts. If I don't get my money back, eventually I'll get some sort of judgment against him, and then I can proceed it if I want to. You can, I'll have to look and see, but garnishing, it'll be a judgment against him basically. So eventually I'll probably get my money back, if not all of it, because obviously I've got time and energy invested already into this, but I can't let him get away with it. So I'll keep you guys in lockstep with, anything goes on. The court date's in January, but yeah, it is what it is. He's done work for me in the prior. It's not like it was a one-off cold call. Like, he's done good work for me prior. No problems, great communication. Like, it's just like, oh, all right. When people fall off, man, they fall off the bandwagon hard. So it's crazy. So that's the con. I'm gonna less customers. I want to do either larger work or spec house work next year, in the years to come. Less customers. Even with the one of the jobs we're doing now, the customers change the layout. Granted, we're charging them. Don't get me wrong, but they change the layout. They have questions. They change stuff right when we're starting to frame stuff, and it's just like, all right, hold on, time out. Now we got to do other things. We got to do this. We got make sure we're all on the same page. So we're not doing work twice, etc., etc. So yeah, it's if I can do bigger projects and less customers, it's great. I'm getting away from the smaller projects and smaller jobs because I don't want to have multiple customers, because you get multiple questions. I get enough of questions at home. I don't need them like super, just a lot. I get it. There's a lot of questions with big projects too, but some of them I can handle as far as forms. The estimates, stuff that's already issued to the customer, they can read it and I can refer to them like, hey, all this has been covered here, here, and here, and then you guys can go ahead and read it on your own time. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, what else we got here? Cons for last year, I had a lot of little onesies and twosies fees, so I'm gonna hammer down on my subcontractor agreements with my subs. I've already talked to a few of them already. Those ones aren't actually the issue. The ones that I haven't talked to are probably gonna be the ones that have an issue with it. But some subcontractors, and it's my fault. Hey, this is the price I have, and then they'll come back like, oh, we're gonna do this. This was something. Some of it's nickel and diming, and some of it's legit. I don't have a problem with legit change orders. I have no problem charging customers, but some stuff I don't like going to my customer for every $5 change or $10 change. I'll just take care of that. No big deal. It comes out of my profit. But I already priced my work accordingly, so I can incur some of those costs anyway and still make a good profit margin. But those are starting to get, how would I say, like the subcontractors are starting to get a little lazy or not take advantage of me, but they know that I just want to get the job done, which everybody does, right? So it seems like they're getting a little laxy-daisy, if you will. So we're going to nip that in the bud. I'm going to try to take that out. That's going to save some money for me in my pocketbook. We're going to have everything in writing, contracts signed, and then again, like with my subs, I'd say, hey, how do you want to be paid? You know, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, half, you know, nothing until all, you know, at the end, etc., etc. But it's going to be at the same point. It's going to be, you're going to follow that, and there's no more work, there's no more money until you get a certain page or a certain installment taken care of. That way I can issue, you know, get my funds, and then we can pay you, kind of thing. So more communication on my part, but that's what I'm working on. That's another con from last year that I learned for sure. I already checked, you know, I already told you guys about less small jobs. It's just wasting my time with the customers that want, like, you know, a $500 or $1,000 project, stuff like that. I don't have time. I really don't. So yeah, I mean, I mean, it's, I got more I go into in my other videos, but yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's what we kind of learned from this year. Definitely a way better year than last year. Profit, definitely in the green, and, you know, definitely had a profit instead of having the losing money like last year. So yeah, I guess that's basically it. Like and subscribe, you guys. I'll see you in the next video, and yeah, we'll see you later.